Good morning. It's 5:30 and it's the first day of high school. Literally first day because I'm a freshman. It's a new high school. I'm gonna go to a new barn, have a new trainer and new horses, new people at the barn, new friends, new colleagues. Everything is literally new. It feels like I've been born twice. Sorry if you can hear the cars outside, but the traffic already started and people are going crazy. Now it really feels like first day of high school. I'm gonna do the quickest outfit check you've ever seen. Are you ready? Okay, good. So for top, I have my high school's uniform, and I don't even go to private high school, but we still have to have uniform for some dumb reason. For bottoms, I have my black heart equestrian hybrids in the color caramel, I believe, paired with my mom's belt. And for shoes, which you obviously can't see because I put my phone on the table, I have literally the most basic shoes, white Nike Air Forces. Anyways, I'm gonna go do my hair and makeup and I'll be out of the house. Here I was waiting for my bus, and as you can see, now it is past sunrise. You can see everything clearly. And I did bring a black hoodie with me, which I did not show in the outfit check, so pardon me for that. I really enjoy that morning cold, so I didn't even put it on. Also, I have to be at school at 8 a.m., which is something that I did not mention, but it has to be known. Hey guys, so I'm kind of not allowed to film, so I have to be sneaky about this. But right now I have history and I just want to do a quick check-in and say that everything is going great. I have 3 classes left, and I mean, we're obviously not doing anything. We're just meeting the teachers and the colleagues. My favorite class is definitely chemistry, not just because I like chemistry in general, but also because we have the sweetest teacher ever and she's making me love chemistry even more. Anyways, after school, I went to hang out with a few new classmates at McDonald's and it was super fun. I only got a drink because I didn't want to eat right before writing. Now it's time to go to the barn, and I'm so excited but also very nervous because it's literally my first time there. I've only seen the place online and like in photos. It was really easy for me to move because I don't have any horses. I've only leased a horse previously at my old barn, so I basically moved because my old barn is close to my home, but it is very far away from my high school. And since I'm going to be at high school half of the day, the barn that I go to has to be a barn that is very close to the high school because, first of all, I do not have a car. I cannot get to my old barn from my high school, and also I do not want to be stuck in the middle of day traffic. That's why I had to move. This barn is a little bit smaller and it's not as prestigious because it is, after all, in the city, so they don't have a lot of space. But they still have 2 arenas, I believe, and some pastures, and it's still pretty cool, so I'm really excited to see it. When I got there, I met my trainer, and she was super sweet. We had a quick chat, then she gave me a tour of the most important facilities on the property. So this is the inside barn, and I went in there to put on my boots, gloves, and helmet, and to also grab a saddle pad because she asked me to. I brought my own wraps because I got these really cute but really simple black wraps from Dover Saddlery. I've seen so many hunter jumpers use these and I absolutely love them. They just look so classy and cute. Anyways, so the horse I'm gonna do my lesson on today is actually owned by my trainer, and she's not a lesson horse, so I felt really special because she gave me a horse that is actually not a lesson horse and not a lot of people ride her. My trainer wanted me to have my lesson on her mare because she is not trained as a lesson horse, which means she's not as bomb-proof and she doesn't tolerate as much as a lesson horse does because lesson horses are taught to be very gentle, very accepting, very calm because obviously they're ridden by inexperienced people. She gave me a more honest horse to have my lesson on so she could see my level, and after this she's gonna pick out a more advanced lesson horse for me to have my lessons in the future on. This is just like a trial. She just wants to see my level basically. I did not properly introduce the horse I'm riding. This is Traumfalter. I know I pronounced her name wrong. It's in German. It means dream butterfly, I believe, or something like that. It's a really cute name, but it's kind of hard to pronounce, so they just call her Tina. I don't even need a mounting block to get on her, which I really like because I'm a huge fan of short horses. I don't know, I just feel a lot safer on them because, you know, you're closer to the ground in case something happens. So Tina's a halflinger, and halflingers, they don't grow too tall anyways. Like, that's just their breed. They're kind of too small to be horses, but they're too big to be ponies, so they're kind of in between. Tina's 16 years old, and my trainer adopted her when she was 4, and she was mostly just like a barn pet. She follows around my trainer without a head collar, without a halter or bridle or anything. She just follows her like a dog, and it's so cute. Like, she's literally an oversized dog. Okay, so back to riding. Tina under saddle, she requires a lot of leg, and my trainer told me about that before I actually got on her. But I was like, how much could she need? And I found out. I'm not really mad about this. Like, I don't usually ride horses that need a lot of leg. But I'm not mad about it because I feel like I'm more in control when a horse needs a lot of encouragement to go forward or do a task. Yeah, so we did 1 lap of walking and then a few laps of trotting while she was putting the jumps up and like some poles on the ground. We did do a bit of jumping because, as I said, she wants to see my level and how I jump and how I do anything on horseback, so she can pick out a horse for me. Her trot is so jumpy, and her strides are surprisingly big for a small horse. But she was also fresh because nobody except for me rode her that day, and my trainer lunched her a bit before our lesson because she was aware that she could have a burst of energy if she didn't have a bit of exercise before having a human on top of her. I was still a bit nervous, but we managed to get through it, and we had a pretty decent lesson, not gonna lie. There were a lot of things that I wish I could have changed, to make a better impression, but overall, it was still pretty good. One of the things I really did not want to happen was her to either get too excited or just too unfocused to the point where she was breaking the canter, and it could have been my fault too because I was adjusting to the fact that she needs a lot of leg, and I'm not really used to this. As I said, I don't really ride horses that require a lot of leg, so it could have been my fault. Obviously, the horse is not really at fault because every horse is trained differently. Some horses are not used to some humans, and that's just how it is. We had a chill lesson. We did a bit of jumping, which the distances were questionable to say the least, and I jumped some of them from like an angle or not in the middle, and it was so embarrassing. I was really losing my patience. As I said, I sometimes have a problem where I don't go in the middle over poles or over jumps, and it's pretty humbling because I've been riding for like 5 to 6 years, obviously with breaks between the 5 to 6 years, but still, I've been riding for a long time, and this is something super easy, and I wasn't doing it. I was so frustrated. So my trainer told me, come here, like, let's take a break, let's just do an exercise to help you with that. And she put like 4 poles in a cross shape, and I had to go over them in a circle in canter, and this was even more difficult. Then it was time for distances. My confidence went really low because I was just doing worse and worse in the lesson. The distances were super bad, and once again, I don't usually do this because I've been riding for a long time, but when you're like really stressed and you just do simple stuff really badly, it just messes you up. And I did so many mistakes that lesson. This whole video could be dedicated to the mistakes I did, but one that was pretty funny, and obviously at the time it wasn't funny at all. I was on the verge of tears, but if I would have been like a different rider, a different student there, and I was just like behind the fence watching, honestly, I would have just made myself a bucket of popcorn. My trainer kept yelling at me like, slow down, collected canter. And it was so funny because I could not slow her down. Like, Tina suddenly got really excited, and I was very surprised because, as I said, I thought she was laid back and I thought she needed a lot of leg, but when she saw the jumps in the arena, she suddenly wanted to go really, really fast. And like, my trainer told me like, pick up the pace just a bit, but then we started full on galloping, and as I said, it was super funny, but it took me a while to calm her down. Like, not calm her down, but collect her and make sure that I was back in control.
Cause baby, like, ooh, it's all another flower lay. The sun goes around.
As you can see in the background, the barn is built next to grasslands and fields and even a forest. So advanced students are actually allowed to cool off on hacks. Like after their lesson, they can just go out and explore a bit around the village because you're not really allowed inside, or you're really only allowed in walk. Like you can't trot or canter in the village for obvious reasons. There's lots of cars and lots of people and it's just usually super busy. Today, or at the time that I did my hack, because I was surprisingly allowed on a hack even though I'm not advanced. At the time that I went on a hack to cool off, it was still work hours, so a lot of people were still at work and there were no cars and it was so quiet and peaceful, and the only sounds were the birds chirping and the wind, and it was just perfect. Also, I forgot to mention, but my trainer's name is Mona, and prior to this I just kept saying my trainer, my trainer, my trainer, but her name's Mona, so there you have it. Next time I say Mona, I'm just referring to my trainer. Anyways, after my 1-hour lesson was done, plus the 20-minute cool off, I decided I don't really want to go home because it was still pretty early. Just hung out with whoever was there, and it was so lovely because since it's a smaller barn, not a lot of people go there and everybody knows everybody, and I was so happy that they let me in their circle. Anyways, I just helped with some chores like organizing stuff in the barn and turning in and out some horses because it was starting to get later. It was evening by the time I was done with my lesson, so everybody was just kind of, chilling out, getting the horses ready for dinner and stuff like that. So we turned in and out some horses, and I took this opportunity to be introduced to the lease horses, or even sale horses they have. Obviously, I'm not getting ready to buy a horse anytime soon, but I've been thinking about leasing a horse again. As I said, I only leased a horse previously at my old barn, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm really ready for a full-on lease, but a half lease would be fun. A half lease is basically where you share the horse with another person who's also paying for the lease, or with the owner. Yeah, you can basically do anything you do during a normal lease, but you're just not that much in charge of the horse. Like, you don't ride them every day, and I'm pretty sure you can't show with them. This depends on the owner, obviously. But yeah, I met some of the lease horses they have, and luckily I'm allowed to try them on for free because I'm a student at the barn. So that was really cool. Obviously, I didn't try any horse today because I was pretty tired and pretty sad. Not sad, but disappointed after my lesson. So I saved it for another day. At around 5:30, I decided it's finally time for me to head back home, especially since my mom started calling me. She's really against the idea of me being out after dark, and I kind of get her, but during autumn and winter it gets dark earlier, so it really sucks. To get home, I have to take the bus, and usually it's a 30-minute ride on a good day with no traffic. Today I got home at 6:20-ish, something like that, but it was still before sunset, so mom was happy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see more vlogs like this, and if you do, then I'll see you next time. Bye!